Good morning and Assalamu alaikum. This is Muhammad Mohsin Khalid. Our topic is relevance of Bacon's essays and writings with postmodern era. What actually comes in our mind when we say and hear the terms of modernity, modernism, and even postmodernism? As we know, Renaissance was the age of enlightenment, where people had started questioning old beliefs, values, old social norms, religious practices, everything that did not match their human rights. And the idea of humanism was proposed, which says human and humanity is the center of world. Socio-economic, religious, political, all systems are meant to serve humanity. Not human are meant to them. Human are not meant to serve those systems. By staying on this stance, humanity had started developing and started making progress. Not only on the level of mind, on the level of ideas, but also in materialistic world. Gradually, when people had progressed as much that they can gain more power over others, the result was terrific. Humanity has seen destruction on mass level in the forms of world wars. And then human realized that and questioned those questions which have been raised on old beliefs, old values, outdated norms and practices. So around 1950s, it was postmodern era, after modernity, after development. And now we had the idea, the concept that everything can be questioned. Even those questions can be questioned, which were raised on old beliefs, old values, old rules and norms. So now we have entered in postmodern era. Some people say actually we are living in postmodern era. Whatever it is, but it is the time after postmodernism. Postmodern era we have entered in. This is a time of revolution discoveries. Scientific discoveries we have made. We have now traveled outside this earth. There have been discoveries in almost every field. We are in digital revolution. So in this period of development, period of extreme modernity, how is it possible to already the things which have been already refuted, how can we still maintain those things, maintain same those values? That was in practice the time of Francis Bacon and Shakespeare, even 16th century. So now we have to see the writer who lived 400 years back, his writing and his works are still relevant to this era, to this century. It is quite surprising. Francis Bacon has written number of essays and number of pieces of work he has produced. But we have couple of his essays in our syllabus. There is a common proverb that in order to check the taste and quality of a recipe, you do not have to eat entire menu. So we have this recipe in the shape of some essays that are also included in our syllabus. I have arranged them in a sequence, the same sequence which every individual goes through with actually. Same like I have arranged of studies, of great places, of truth, of revenge, and of death. A man, a human, grows up, he goes to educational institute, starts his educational career. After that, after completing his formal education, he goes to great place, great position, official rank, where he meets the world, he explores the world and observe what is truth and what is not, and what he has been told about the world's and truth and the world's realities and world's things which are related to the world. Of revenge. In the hustle and rush of life, sometimes a person confronts with difficult situations, with conflicts. Somehow other person wants to take revenge, or somehow person himself wants to take revenge. How should we handle and tackle this situation? And eventually the ultimate destiny of each individual in the shape of death. So first of all, we have of studies. You know, back in 16th or 17th century, getting education was a luxury. The studies and education was only accessible for the upper class and royal society, the people who belonged to royal families. But now, in this century, in postmodern era, in today's world, education has become an integral part of one's life. It is now equivalent to better life, because if we have better education, if we have studied, there are more opportunities for us to gain more sources of income, to arrange food, water, shelter, everything. But few centuries ago, education was not directly related to the source of income, but now it is. So we can say studies now is directly related to our life and our income source, and income equal to food, water, necessities of life. So now we are dependent on studies, on education, in order to proceed with the life. But what should be the functions of studies? What should be the aims and purpose of studies? How should we study? And what should we study? Should we study to contradict, to confute what is happening on talk shows, on TV channels, and even in Parliament House? People are reading, they have good education, they have good exposure in studies, but in their perspective they believe knowledge is power, and to gain power they only study. They study to believe and to take for granted. They study to find something to talk about, to have a discourse, but not to weigh and consider. So this is the dilemma of today's world, and directly relevant to the words of Bacon. Read not to contradict, not to confute, not to believe and take for granted, not to find to talk something, not to have something in your discourse, but to weigh and consider. And what should we study? What type of books should we read? Everything is not meant to study and digest. He has told. I find his work very practical and suggestive, which is pretty much useful, not only in those times but today's. If a person has to get consultancy about his practical life, what should one do, or what the person wants to do, he must consult with the writings and words and ideas of Francis Bacon, even in this era. Second, we have of great places. After getting education, mostly people are in pursuit of getting good position, whether after their competitive exams or whether through political system, whether through democracy or whatever. But once they reach on those places, all we know what happens: corruption, bribery, everything that is possible they do by hook or by crook. But Bacon says how fool we are. We want to gain power on others, but in this pursuit we lose power on oneself. We go in the pursuit of fame, popularity, but we are servant of state, of our business, and of fame. We lose our freedom. How practical this thing is. And the person who has achieved the fame and popularity, he can only relate with this. Okay, I was okay without fame because this thing has snatched my freedom to me. Now I really spend my time with myself. This is quite practical, and the people who unknowingly become the slaves of their position, of their great place, they can actually understand if they read and relate their position and what Bacon was saying in his essay, which was written in 400 years back. Somehow we feel that this person, somehow maybe he belongs to our age, our era. How relevant it is, because whatever he says is not obsolete, it's still relevant. Sometimes I feel that he must be a scholar who belongs to our society and he knows everything which is happening. Next, we have of truth. A very practical thing he says: truth takes hard work to discover. That's why we do not try to find truth. He quoted the Roman emperor while the Roman emperor was conducting the trial on Jesus Christ. He had asked, "What is truth?" But he did not bother to find the answer, because truth is like a daylight, bright daylight, which makes visible our shortcomings, our flaws, and we do not like that. We like dim light, which increases our attractiveness somehow. We prefer that. And truth takes hard work. There is a survival theory hidden in this sentence. Truth takes hard work. And human biologically is meant to save his energy. Our brain does not prefer to waste his energy. He does not work on excellence. He wants our brain struggles to save energy in order to make sure our survival. The truth now we see is a hyper reality. whatever we see through media, through digital world, is not the actual truth. And the truth is relative. There is no objective reality at all. And the postmodernist, all the postmodernists have constructed their ideology on this, that truth is relative and there is no objective truth. Everyone has their own reality, their own truth. Next we have revenge of revenge. We can see not only on individual level but on the country and state level. States are in pursuit of taking revenge from each another. And in that result, even after 50s, we have seen many battles that were only caused by revenge. In order to overcome other, in order to gain more power, in order to prove yourself powerful. The revenge. And Bacon says, don't waste your time by thinking your past. Focus on your present, on your future. A person who harms you is like a thorn and bushes. Their nature is to harm. Do not bother about them. If you waste your time on these things, are not very meaningful and useful. Revenge is wild justice. But today's man, and in this world and in this era especially, we haven't changed. Human behavior, human psychology. I feel somehow Bacon was an anthropologist who has keenly observed human behavior, human desires, human thinking pattern. He knows very well. And instead of doing something, if we are avoiding something, what should we do instead of it? They also suggested. He also suggested that. And lastly, we have of death. I would say the idea he has portrayed and proposed here indirectly is the foundation of all the postmodernists. He says, like a child who fears going in darkness because he is told ghost lives in darkness, same as we are told there would be punishment, hell after death. That's why we are fearful. And the other reason is original reason, pain. Like if we accidentally cut off our finger, we feel pain, and somehow we feel that if we die, the same pain will be amplified to our entire body. We can relate to that. Death is as natural as the process of birth. These are the stories which have been told us, and these stories have been refuted and disproved by the modernist. Because now we have traveled outside of this earth, we know how vast the universe is from our telescopes. We have found the galaxies which are several light years, millions of light years far from us. Light years. And we even cannot think to reach over those planets. There is an idea that mostly postmodernists think the creator of that vast universe, how is it possible that he is so interested with petty things that we do. What should we dress, like what should be our dress code, how should we dress up, how we maintain ourselves, what we eat and what we do not. How is it possible that a creator of that big universe is interested in petty things? The same ideas can be seen coming out of this essay, that the child is fearful because the elders have told them the stories created by themselves, like ghost and others. So conclude, Bacon and his thought process is sort of evergreen, because the things he has proposed, his writing structure, his ideas are very much relevant. Or it would not be exaggeration, despite a few sentences. I disagree with his single or two sentences, his ideas sometime, where he says, the death of bravery is appreciable. When soldiers die, it's a very appreciable death. Although I do not agree with that, but the relevance of his maximum work is surprising. It seems who is writing this certainly belonged to this time. And why his work is evergreen and still relatable? Because he has keenly observed human nature, human behavior, human psychology, whatever we do and whatever we desire actually. So it was our conclusion, and his work is primarily related to human behavior. That's why it is quite relevant, and it will be relevant until unless an evolution or revolution emerges again in the form of technology or artificial intelligence. So till then we can take benefit from his writing, and he is indeed a life coach, a human behavioralist. So that's all for today. Thank you so much. So that's all for today. Thank you so much.